This story is so freaking funny. A woman I know shared this story about her Swedish husband. Decades ago, he knew another Swede who brought his 2 teenage daughters to the US on vacation. One day, they were on public transport when a very handsome, fit, dark-skinned man entered the car. The dad immediately started making obnoxious comments in Swedish.
Well, you sure don't see that back home. And how do you like to date that guy?
His daughters were mortified and begged him to stop. A few stops later, the handsome man turned to the dad and said in flawless Swedish,
Welcome to our country, and I hope you enjoy your visit.
The dad was completely stunned. Turns out the man was a security expert and ex-military who worked at the Swedish embassy, and he had been studying Swedish the whole time. The moral of this story: never underestimate someone, especially if they might understand your language.
She kept stealing my shampoo, so I gave her a colorful surprise she'd never forget. My roommate had a bad habit. She kept borrowing my stuff without asking. Food, laundry pods, and worst of all, my salon brand shampoo. This stuff wasn't cheap, and I noticed it running out way too fast. So one day, I asked her, "Hey, are you using my shampoo?" She just smiled and said, "Just a little now and then." You don't mind, right? Actually, I did. But instead of arguing, I came up with a plan. I bought the cheapest shampoo bottle I could find, poured it out, and replaced it with semi-permanent purple hair dye. Not harmful, just a little tint that shows under light or on blonde hair. A few days later, I heard her in the shower. Business as usual. Then, an hour later, what the hell? She stood in the hallway, towel falling off her head. And there it was. Her hair had a purple tint at the roots. Not dramatic, but definitely noticeable. She never touched my stuff again, didn't apologize, didn't say a word. But suddenly, she had her own shampoo. Funny how a little color fixed my boundaries real fast. Ever had a roommate cross the line? What would you have done? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more petty revenge stories.
Let me tell you about a guy I work with. We'll call him Seth. Seth is that coworker. You know the type? Lazy, always on his phone, always just stepping out for something. He shows up late with some excuse about traffic, disappears for 2-hour lunches, and somehow never seems to get in trouble. For the past 6 months, I've been his favorite target. He sends me emails asking if I can help with his work, but what he really means is do the whole thing for him. Of course, he takes all the credit. I tried talking to my boss. Twice, but Seth, he's slippery. He always had a way of spinning things to make himself look innocent. Then one day he went too far. Huge client report was due in 2 days. And guess who he dumped it on last minute? Yup, me. That's when I had an idea. A few days earlier, I'd asked Seth if he was good at Excel. He laughed and said, "Not really." So that was all I needed to hear. So the next time he asked me to handle the spreadsheets, I said, "Sure." This time I added a little surprise. I built a bunch of hidden formulas into the files. Nothing too crazy, just enough to quietly mess things up if you didn't know what you were doing. Copy and paste anything and the numbers would scramble just enough to turn the report into nonsense. Fast forward to deadline day. Seth, as usual, did absolutely nothing, thinking I had it covered. Then the client called angry. The report was full of garbage data. Seth freaked out. He tried to fix it, but the more he worked on it, the worse it got. He eventually came running to me, asking what went wrong. I just shrugged and said, "Weird, maybe it's a glitch." He spent the entire day trying to untangle the mess I'd carefully planted. Eventually, our boss found out. And for once, Seth couldn't charm his way out of trouble. He got chewed out hard. The company put him on temporary leave without pay, let's just say. He won't be pawning off his work on me again. This is a classic story about that coworker. You know, the one who thinks the office fridge is his personal buffet. This happened about 10 years ago. I was the new person at work, just trying to mind my business and eat my homemade lunch in peace. But twice a week, my lunch would disappear. Not the container, just the food. I'd open the box and find crumbs or nothing at all. I asked around. Turns out it was this misogynistic jerk who'd been stealing lunches for years. Management knew, but did nothing, so I got petty. I started packing decoy lunches and kept my real food out of the fridge, just sandwiches and snacks I could eat at my desk. After 2 weeks, I started talking to everyone in the office, including Hima, about this new wellness routine I was following. I told them I was collecting and eating my menstrual blood. Yep. I even showed a fake video of me preparing food and emptying a menstrual cup into it. Now listen, it wasn't true, but he didn't know that. He definitely thought it was. And hey, maybe he did eat my foot skin from an old exfoliating scrub. Who's to say? He went on sick leave for a week. And just like that, the office fridge was peaceful again. Everyone's lunch stayed safe. Sometimes you don't need HR to solve your problems. You just need creativity and a little fake blood. Would you have done the same? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wild work stories.
My family is deaf, but I can hear. Sometimes when we go out to eat, I stay quiet and just listen to what people are saying around us. One day we were being seated at this restaurant, and I overheard our waitress talking to another waitress. She said,
Great, more dumb deaf people.
she had no idea I could hear her. She went on to talk about how much she hates serving the deaf community. Then she turned to us, forced a fake smile, and pointed to our seats. When it was time to order, I calmly said, "Well, I guess we're too deaf and dumb to read the menu. Maybe you want to read it to me while I translate." Her face froze in complete shock. Sometimes the best comebacks aren't loud, they just need to be heard.
There is a small town grocery store that offers custom cakes. Nothing special. Except, their only cake decorator is, well, let's just say she's a nasty piece of work with even nastier opinions about gay people. One of my siblings who's LGBTQ+, actually works at the store. And for a long time, they've had to deal with her rude remarks. Well, that is about to change. For their upcoming birthday, my sibling had the brilliant idea.
What if her family ordered her a Pride Team cake from that cake decorator?
Naturally, my family said,
Of course, we're doing this.
but here's the thing. We didn't stop there. My another sibling, they ordered a pride cake too. My mom ordered one for our favorite gay barista. My wife ordered one for me just because she knows I love cake. And now it's spreading. I have a lot of siblings. They have friends and families. We have our own friends and families. And they have friends and families. You get the picture. Within days, orders started piling up. This woman is now spending her entire month making hundreds of pride cakes. But wait, it gets better. Her manager saw the very first pride cake my sibling ordered and loved it. She decided to put one in a display case and advertise pride-themed cakes for the whole month. Now, every LGBT plus person in town knows about it, meaning even more orders for the decorator who despises making them. Now, that is a beautiful thing to wake up to. Speaking of waking up, I should probably go, so yeah. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you dislike it. Check out our other videos, comment below with any video suggestions, and don't forget to subscribe. It's free and help us make more videos like this. So yeah, bye.